Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2010 UNC Asheville Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony. My name is Brendan Harrington. I am the radio voice of UNC Asheville men's and women's basketball, and I'm delighted to be here as the master of ceremonies for tonight. This is a very special evening as we will be honoring 3 former Bulldog student athletes who enjoyed spectacular careers at UNC Asheville. We will also honor a coach who brought national recognition to UNC Asheville and is still remembered to this day and will never be forgotten. Each of these individuals was a champion in athletics, and now they are leaders in life. And during dinner, you will hear from current student athletes, one from each table, who will speak about what it means to be a present-day Bulldog. Tonight promises to be a very special evening, and at this time I would like to introduce Janet Cohn, the Senior Administrator for University Enterprises and the Director of Athletics here at UNC Asheville.
Thank you so much for introducing me, and thanks for being the voice of the Bulldogs. Our voice is getting stronger and stronger. As you can see, we have almost outgrown this room, and that is a great challenge to have, because if you were coming here today and you happened to look over across the mountains here and you saw this thing coming out of the ground, that thing someday will be hosting this event, the North Carolina Center for Health and Wellness in the Kimmel Arena. And we want to be able to have 1,000 people at an event like this, so welcome. We're glad that you're here. My job is to make sure that I don't overlook someone tonight. So I'm going to find a way to recognize each and every one of you, because each of you are special to us, or you would not be here. Whether you're an alum, whether you're the chancellor of our university, a senior staff member, a development person, someone working on homecoming, a wife, a husband of a coach, fundraisers, each of you are very, very special. So allow me to make sure that I recognize each and every one of you. First of all, we're here to honor our Hall of Fame inductees and their families. If you would raise your hand just so people can kind of see who you are. Our Hall of Fame inductees and your families. I know there's one beautiful young lady. We also want to make sure that we recognize some of our present inductees. As Roger Bauer, our president of our Bulldog Athletic Association, said, we have some members of those Hall of Fame members who are here that got inducted previously. If you would raise your hand. I know I see Erlen Hart here representing Dave. Raise your hand so people can see you. Thank you so much. I also want to recognize all of our Bulldog Athletic Association board members and members of the Bulldog Athletic Association, those folks that help us raise scholarship money. If you would raise your hands. This is homecoming weekend, and so without alumni, you would have no homecoming. And I want to recognize any of our alumni board that's here tonight. I know I saw some of you. Raise your hands. Speaking of boards, I know we have several of our Board of Trustee members here. If you would raise your hand so that we can see who you are. I see Jim Buckner, our chair. We have one board member who's not only a board member, but the student government president back there, Cortland. I told him I'd give him a little special kudos. Cortland, I want you to remember that when I come asking for money in a couple years when you're out, okay? Very important. We also have some of our elected officials I see up here. If you are an elected official, Jan Davis, who's on the city council, any others that are here tonight, I think Nathan Ramsey is on our board of trustees. Our intercollegiate athletic committee members, I saw some of you here today. If you'll raise your hands. Thank you so much. I think our faculty athletic rep, Herman Holt, Dr. Herman Holt's here. Thank you so much. Speaking of our faculty, all the faculty members, please raise your hands. If you've taught a class this year, raise your hand because you're helping our student athletes. I mentioned earlier we have some of our development staff here. Those are the folks also that help us raise funds to help our student athletes and all of our students. If you're on the development staff, please raise your hand. Chancellor Ponder's raising her hand high. She raised. Thank you so much. This is homecoming, and I'm going to call a few special names, and I hope I don't forget anyone. John Booker, Aaron Punter, Kevin Frazier. I know y'all have been working very hard for this whole weekend, and I want to mention something right now. I promised Kevin I would do this. If you are an alum, you have an opportunity tomorrow. What time, Kevin? 7 o'clock. You get a chance to spend time with our chancellor at the Pisgah House. And if you have not been over there, this is your opportunity. It's going to become a critical, very important part of our universities, particularly with our alums. So 7 o'clock tomorrow night, you got one-on-one time with the chancellor, and I want you to talk about how wonderful I am to her, okay? That'll help me. So thank you for those folks that are working on homecoming. Student athletes, raise your hand. Student athletes. These aren't just any student athletes. These are also our leaders on our campus and part of the Athletic Directors 3.0 Club. So you're sitting with some of our best and our brightest. I also want to thank, before we go any further, we have a couple of interns from Western Carolina and Mars Hill. Now, I know Western's a rival and Mars Hill, but we'll take free labor anytime we can get it. Those folks worked so hard to help plan this event. They're not here because one of them is an athlete herself and they had to go back, but I want to make sure that I acknowledge that they worked hard on planning this. The following folks, please stand up. Mike Gore, Diane Marlowe, Rebecca Kyle, please stand up because they really did this event. I also want to thank our food service, Chartwells, for the food tonight and all that they do to help us every day. And those wonderful decorations on your table, please do not take the locker with you because I'm counting on having those all myself. No, Nancy Williamson does this for us every year, and each year she gets more and more creative. And I think the locker, if you notice, it even has a pennant and shoes in it. It's really a very nice thing, so I want to thank her. This is a great evening, and if I haven't called your name, I am so sorry because I think each of you are very special. And I know that we have some alums here who aren't student athletes but who are visiting with us. Raise your hand if you're a graduate of UNC Asheville. We like that. We like you coming back. That's very important. Our head coaches of all of our 14 sports are here. Head coaches, please stand up. And I'm going to make our head coaches feel old because these head coaches have 135 years experience in coaching. That's pretty amazing. And they're not all Eddie, okay? Eddie's young. He's young. He only has about half of those. But I also want to acknowledge others on my staff, Judith Bohan, Terry Burney, others, all the other folks that work for the athletic department. Please raise your hand because they've also been up here working very hard. Thank you. You know, so we have a great team, and the reason I'm calling names out and introducing and welcoming you, nothing can happen good without teamwork. I mean, nothing can happen good without teamwork. And it doesn't matter what your position is. It doesn't matter where you're sitting. It doesn't matter what your title. At UNC Asheville, we need everyone pulling together. And the reason that we're inducting people into the Hall of Fame is because people were pulling together to make this happen. You know, you work very hard, but it takes a team to make a champion. And it takes a real lot of teamwork to have championships. So you are all very, very special. I want to thank my boss, Chancellor Ponder, and you know I've done this in a very respectful way. She is a wonderful head coach. And I know we're supposed to call her Chancellor and Doctor, but when we get down to it, in the world of coaching, you want to have a great head coach, and she is certainly a great head coach. So let's all thank her right now. There's a couple other folks here too. One of the things that Chancellor Ponder's doing is trying to create teamwork on the senior staff level. And my teammates on the senior staff, and I know there's two of them here, Dr. Bill Haggard, and I saw John Pierce is in here too. These guys are the folks that really help us get a lot of things done at this university. And I want to personally thank you, because I know you've had a long week, a long day, just like the rest of us, but it takes a little more time to come out and support athletics. We really appreciate that. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn this back over to Brendan, and I want you, don't worry, I have more to say at the end. I've learned from Eddie. If you get the microphone, take advantage of it. So I will be back, but thank you so much.
Not only does she not want to let go of the microphone, but she doesn't want to let go of the script either. So, thanks, Janet. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the singing of UNC Asheville's alma mater by the University Singers. The words can be found on the back of your program.
Hi everyone, we're all-girls staff and we're a student-led organization, and I hope you guys enjoy this.
And before we begin our dinner tonight, we'd like to ask head baseball coach Tom Smith to come forward as he will lead us in our invocation.
This is a little off script, but this is outstanding. The Bulldog athletes that are here today, what it means to be a Bulldog, if I can get through it without crying, because I've seen two teammates cry already. Mike Schultz came in, he runs spring training for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's just past dark. He's responsible for players that make tens of millions of dollars. And he showed up to show his love for a teammate tonight. Mike, thanks for being here. Let us take a moment to thank God for all we've been given and for bringing such a fine group of dedicated and enthusiastic Bulldogs together for this event, our Hall of Fame banquet, to honor our past and mold our future. Let us pray. We ask for your help, God, our creator and sustainer of all that is or ever will be, to give our individual and collective gifts to our community to regularly refurbish our intentions, to give of ourselves in ways that make a difference to our families, our university, our town, our nation, to maintain our focus with a determination and with a sense of the knowledge that we are mortal men and women. Fuel our work with vigor, stamina, and hearty spirit. Give us this time also for a special remembrance of University of North Carolina Asheville Hall of Famers Herb Coleman and Dave Hart. Their example of caring for our university is our example. Hear our prayer, allowing us to show your love for us and our relationships with one another. For all this, a few doses of good luck and grace, we give our thanks. For what we are about to receive, let us truly be thankful. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Coach Smith. We hope that you enjoy your dinner and listening to our student athletes speaking about what it means to be a Bulldog, and we'll meet back up here in just a little while. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're ready to start to hear from our student athletes. First, we'll have Ms. Jenna Dover from our volleyball team.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. To get it started tonight, they wanted us to go around and talk about what it means to be a Bulldog and what it means to be a student athlete at this university. So when they first handed me this assignment, I was like, what does it mean to be a Bulldog? And what I first thought of was, if you think about the Bulldog itself as an animal, it has a certain stance, a certain power, and just the way that it carries itself. And I think that our student athletes definitely do that. We stand up straight, and we are proud of who we are and what we do here. And that's what it means for me to be a Bulldog. My name's Jenna Dover, and I am a Bulldog. Pass it this way? All right, I can do that.
First off, I'd like to say hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. When I was just like her, and I was given this assignment, it was kind of like hard to describe what being a Bulldog really means. And to me, I just kind of thought, it has to do with what you do. And there's three things here that I really like to involve myself in. And there's academics, which I always take very seriously, athletics, and I participate in 2 sports, basketball and track and field. And I also participate, and then the third thing was something called the Sports Performance Program, which we have just started up here. And I take all 3 of those things very seriously. And for those of you who don't know what the Sports Performance Program is, it's a program where it's headed up by our strength coach, Brad DeWeese, and he's teaching students here to be better athletes, really, but we're learning to be good strength coaches. A lot of us are getting our USA weightlifting certifications, and actually a lot of us are going to go on to be strength coaches or be graduate assistants at schools with the information that we're learning here. And it's really been helping the program a lot. But really, it's a combination between academics and athletics. And so really, it's more of a spectrum than 3 things. But really, just doing the best in everything you can do, loving what you do, and never giving up, to me, is what being a Bulldog is. So I want to say thanks to everyone for coming. My name is Jeremy Harn. I participate with track and field and men's basketball, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hey, I'm Ashley. I know y'all probably can't see me because I'm little, but I participate in track and field. And a Bulldog to me is someone that not only supports their team, but goes out and supports other teams and support the other team members in the class and on the court and on the field. And I just love being a Bulldog. So thank you. I'm Ashley Clough-Felter, and I'm a Bulldog.
To me, being a Bulldog can most adequately be described as responsibility and opportunity. Being a Bulldog means that I have a responsibility to those who have come before me to represent this university in a manner that would make them proud. It is a responsibility to all those who have aided and supported me to make the most out of my time here at UNCA. And it is a tremendous opportunity for me to make my mark as a successful student athlete. I'm Austin Lexi. I'm a member of the men's basketball team, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hi there, I'm Louise Bottomley. I play tennis here. Being in Asheville, as you can hear, I'm probably not from around here, has allowed me to travel, see the world. I'm originally from England, and both my parents were teachers, so when I finished the end of my high school, I had to make a decision whether I wanted to play tennis or whether I wanted to study, and so being here allowed me to do both at the same time, which we don't really have the opportunity to do. And being here has allowed me to be part of a great program, play with great teammates, a couple of who are here, and study under two of the best coaches in the country. So I'm Louise Bottomley, I'm with women's tennis, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hi, I'm Keith. I'm a member of the track and field team, and going off of what Jeremy has mentioned, I am part of the sport performance team as well, and going off of what Janet Cohn was saying about being a team, it really truly is something that it takes everyone to be a part of it to build upon. Simon Hockey, you'll hear from him as well in a minute. He's also an undergraduate assistant strength coach. We've just been accredited as a USA weightlifting, what's it called, Jeremy? Collegiate Training Center. Thank you, I appreciate that. So what that means is we're also getting support from outside sources as well. So we're building from within. It's a group of dedicated athletes, and we're working with other athletes, taking part of their training models. And to be honest with you, we have a very dedicated group of athletes in here in this room, and also as a part of our athletic department. And I feel like that from that we're going to be able to grow and be more successful on the field, on the court, and everywhere else, and then be future leaders in life. And again, I'm Keith, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
As a UNCA athlete, I'm able to enjoy the advantages of a small school coupled with the thrill of big competition in the Big South Conference. Also, as a UNCA athlete, I can enjoy being a part of a team on the rise, working with a coach who has been the best, coached the best, and wants to make UNCA's tennis program the best. As a UNCA athlete, I have seen a group of athletes come together from not only all over the United States, but from all over the world as well. And just to make themselves a true team in every sense of the word. I'm Devin Kavanaugh, I'm part of the women's tennis team, and this is why I'm proud to be a Bulldog. Thank you.
Wearing the same shirts doesn't make a team. To me, being a Bulldog doesn't mean being an athlete, student, or even a teacher on campus. And if you've ever been to one of our games, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. My brother Justin is the ultimate Bulldog. He's always faithful in his true blue shirt, pom-pom, and Bulldog mask. Even though he has Down syndrome and doesn't get to participate in all the things I do, he embodies everything that it means to be a Bulldog. I'm Lauren Ficker with volleyball, and me and my brother Justin are proud to be Bulldogs.
I'm Leon Stimson, a baseball player here. For me, what it means to be a Bulldog is being part of a family that stresses both academic and athletic achievement while keeping teamwork always at the forefront of whatever we do and choose to accomplish. I'm part of a great family. I'm a Yankee from Philadelphia, but I'm becoming a Southerner at heart real quick. So I'm just extremely grateful for the opportunity and part of a great family that's unlike any other in the country. Leon Stimson, baseball player, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Good evening. I'm Corey McClintock. I run track and field for UNC Asheville. To me, being a bulldog means that it's impossible to focus on just one aspect of your education, and it's also impossible to just exist in an individual mindset. UNC Asheville sort of provides a very well-rounded education, but it also encourages a well-rounded experience. I'm really proud to be an athlete, and I love spending a bunch of time running with my teammates and learning from my coaches, but I'm no less of a student or a member of the community for all the time I spend with my sport. So I'm Corey McClintock, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog with track and field.
Hi, I'm Erin Putnam. I'm with track and field and cross country, and kind of going off what Corey said, you know, being a Bulldog to me is being well-rounded and constantly striving in both the academic and athletic sectors to be the best you can be, and to just develop the fundamentals that'll help us be successful in life after college. I'm Erin Putnam. I'm with track and cross country, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
I'm Simon Hockey. I'm a member of the track and field team at UNC Asheville. And I've been told to give a shout out to Table 16 for being, they've been the best table tonight for me so far. But as a fellow member with Keith Scruggs and Jeremy Harn of the Bulldog UNCA Sports Performance Club, I've learned a lot about what it means to be a Bulldog on campus. I've taken a lot of pride in what I and our team does, and I think that that has truly taught me everything that means to really take part in something and be a part of a family that UNCA can offer in different programs, like the Sports Performance Club. And we're able to go around the community and help out local high schools. We're going to start branching out and helping out at the hospital, and hopefully bringing more people into UNC Asheville to become a part of a community that I really feel strongly for. So I'm Simon Hockey, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hey, I'm Matt Waitson, and I too, like Louise, am from England, and I also came here to be able to play my sport at a high level whilst earning a degree. It was nerve-wracking making the decision to travel the 4,000 miles away from home, but I'm pleased I did, because being part of the UNCA sporting community gives me a feeling of belonging to something greater than any one person, and a feeling of unity, and that we can achieve something great every day. I'm Matt Wason, men's tennis, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hey, I'm JJ Morrow. I just want to correct one thing real fast. Table 14, obviously the best table, so I'm sorry, Simon. I mean, you got it mixed up. It's okay. Anyway, for me, being a Bulldog has really been all about opportunity. When I showed up, I was 17 as a freshman, and there were guys on the team that were 6 years older than me, and I mean, Tate weighed probably 35 pounds more than I did and could throw me through a wall, but you know, the coaches gave everybody an equal opportunity. We all got a chance to go out and show what we could do, and I was fortunate enough to make it into the starting lineup and eventually make the all-rookie team. And you know, I feel as if I would have gone somewhere else, that I would have been overlooked as, you know, just another little kid who's coming in trying to play college soccer, and I'd be sitting the bench. But because I came here, I got, you know, the opportunity to play the sport I love at, you know, a great college. I'm JJ Marr with men's soccer, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hi, I'm Ivy Chappell. What it means to be a Bulldog for me is being able to support one another. Being on the cheer and dance team, I see the crowd supporting us as a team when we're out on the court, so that we can furthermore support our men's and women's basketball team. And I feel like this cycle of encouragement and support among one another here at such a small school creates a big community among us, and it makes us different than most other colleges. I'm Ivy Chappell with the cheer and dance team, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
I was told by my table to say that we were the lucky table. The lucky table, you know, so. I had a presentation to do today, so I memorized that and not what I was supposed to say. So I have to read it, kind of read it. The word that comes to mind when I think about being a student athlete in the Bulldog, the University of North Carolina at Asheville, is involvement. I feel the importance of being involved with each team, with your team, with your individual teams, be it mine is soccer. And also being involved, as we have spoken about, other student athletes have spoken about, being involved with each other team as well, supporting each other, being there to cheer each other on at each game, and to be cheered on at each game by fellow student athletes. And also involvement outside of school, in the communities and whatever area we pursue after our education. Involvement is our purpose of education, is to be involved. So I want to thank the university for these opportunities to be involved, and the fellow athletes, all of them here, and all of them that aren't here tonight, for the involvement in UNCA. And I'm proud to be a Bulldog, and my name is Jake Sides, and I'm with men's soccer. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emma Bussard. I'm with women's cross country and track. To me, being a Bulldog is more than just wearing Asheville gear and Bulldog blue. It's about having the support of all of you guys, the community, the school, my teammates and coaches who are helping me to develop skills that I'll use later in life to be successful. And I also like to point out, just in case so everybody knows, that track is having our conference meet this weekend. It's at Clemson. If anybody's free Saturday or Sunday, you should come out and support us. I'm Emma Bussard. I run cross country and track, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hi, brace yourself. My name's Leilani Halkiotis, and I play women's soccer, obviously. But what it means to be a Bulldog is just that unbreakable bond between you and your teammates. And, you know, work's my main focus, just working hard in everything I do, whether it's school or soccer, always working hard, and I love the challenge. So I'm Leilani Halkiotis, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Hi. A few months ago, I injured my knee and it pretty much put me out of commission. And due to our awesome sports performance club, team, whatever, with Keith and Jeremy, Simon, all those other people, Brad, our awesome training staff here, our coaches, all my athletes and peers that believed in me. 2 months later, here I am, just started running again, and I'm shooting for our school record at the indoor conference meet this weekend for track and field. And if I don't get it, I'm walking home. My name's Sam Maynard. I run track and field, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
When I think about being a Bulldog, I think about how much not only my team has grown, but how much I have grown. The past 4 years have allowed me to understand the importance of being able to depend on other people, to work together for a common goal. Being a Bulldog has shown me how far teamwork can really take you. I'm Christine Farr with the cheer and dance team, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very happy at this time to begin the 2010 UNC Asheville Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony. And at this time, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of UNC Asheville, our head coach, as Janet Cohn refers to her, Dr. Ann Ponder. Chancellor Ponder is in her 5th year serving as Chancellor of her hometown university. During her high school years at T.C. Robertson in Asheville, and later as an undergraduate at UNC Chapel Hill, Chancellor Ponder played soccer, and these days she enjoys riding her bike when it's not 30 degrees below zero outside like it is right now. Though she wouldn't necessarily describe herself as a student athlete, she fully appreciates the role that sports and physical activity play in the lives of students. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Chancellor Ponder.
Thank you, Brendan, and thank you everyone for coming tonight. Because they were so terrific, and there isn't a place in the program to recognize them, will every one of the student athletes who stood up and said that they were proud to be Bulldogs stand up again and take a bow? Tonight we're here to honor our alumni athletes. Some of our champion athletes may go on to professional careers in their chosen sports, and we have some examples in this room tonight. Most, however, go on to other careers. What then is the value of the participation in athletics here at UNC Asheville? We believe that that value is as much in the ends as in the means and vice versa. We encourage participation in athletics at UNC Asheville, not in the hope that our students may have professional sports careers, though many do, but because of the values, the habits, and the lessons that they'll get and that they'll learn on the field or the court or the track. Our athletes learn drive, the pursuit of excellence, determination, confidence, mental toughness, and emotional control. Those are skills that they will take with them when they leave UNC Asheville. Those are the skills that an exceptional education that makes the classroom an important but not the only part of what the best education here is at UNC Asheville. I am so proud of our student athletes. And I am so proud of the role that our coaches and our professors and our staff members play in shaping them into the world-class leaders that they become. It's my honor now to turn to each of the 4 awards. I would like to ask Janet Cohn, our AD, and our men's basketball coach, Eddie Biedenbaugh, to assist with our first presentation. Will Josh Pittman please come forward and stand with Janet and Eddie? Josh Pittman was the 1997 and 1998 Big South Conference Player of the Year. He was the first UNC Asheville basketball player to ever earn this award, and he is one of only 3 players in league history to accomplish such a feat. Josh helped the Bulldogs capture the 1997 and 1998 Big South Conference regular championships, the first in school history. He completed his career at the 4th all-time leading scorer at UNC Asheville with 1,547 points. Josh is our school's all-time leading Division I scorer. He was the first team Big South All-Conference performer twice and was named to the Big South All-Tournament team once. On graduation from UNC Asheville in 1998, he has enjoyed a successful pro basketball career in Argentina and Mexico. Josh resides now in his hometown of Winston-Salem in the off-season with his daughter and family. Will you help me welcome to the UNC Asheville Athletics Hall of Fame, Josh Pittman. Here's Eddie.
Okay. I have an hourglass here that I'm going to keep time with. Everybody always makes fun of me up here, so I might as well, if I'm going to be the brunt of that, I might as well take and do it. this is quite a pleasure. First of all, to be in front of all of you astute people that support us like you do and the things that you do for us. I look out here and I want to say I'm Eddie Biedenbaugh, a basketball coach, and I'm proud to be a Bulldog, just like the ones that stand up there. I just wish that I was as young as those student athletes that stood up there. And I imagine the most of you looking around would like to be as young as you remember back to your college days and think that all that stuff they said was all they do. They are great in the classroom, they're great on the court, and really a great bunch of people. I remember Mike Gore at the Civic Center one day. We were playing Marshall University, and we beat them there. They had beaten us up at their place pretty handily, and then we played them at home, and we beat them down there. And after the game, I chewed the guys out. You know, Mike jumped up on and grabbed me and went in the locker room, and I chewed them out in there because I had heard that several of them had been out at the mall in the afternoon walking around and shopping. I said, listen, you guys, I've been in NC State and Georgia, and I was telling those guys they weren't allowed to carry guns or rob banks. I want you guys to stay out of that mall. So it's quite a change from... But I'd like table 16 to stand up and 14, and I want to know which one really is the best table back there. Some things that are, I want to say some things about Josh. First, I'd like for his mom to stand up over there. Teddy. Josh is a great young man, and a lot of it is because of that lady right there. I always knew her as Betty Pittman, but she's been, since Josh was in school, was Betty Gunnar Doolin, but you're always Mrs. Pittman to me, you know. And she told me that earlier, that everybody calls her that because of Josh. But what a great time we had together at UNC Asheville. Josh is the cornerstone of this program. He came in here, and because of him, I believe that we're building this new building right now. He started the enthusiasm that filled that gym up when it came to conference play. The way the student athletes, particularly the baseball team, followed us and did what they did, and the other student athletes joined in, and we have a following that they really harass and paint up and do things that's really wonderful, the way the athletes stick together. But I believe Josh was the cornerstone of that beginning. And that thing carried on through to now we have this Center for Health and Wellness, which Janet and Keith have really done a great job. But that thing is going up because of Wayne McDevitt and Wilma Sherrill and the job that they did. And I'd like to just thank them publicly for what they did in doing that. I'd also like to, before I get to Josh, I'd like to roast him more than I would like to praise him, but I'll tell you, he didn't give me any trouble. But I would like to mention Barbara. She's the brunt of a lot of my jokes, and but I'll tell you what, Josh knows this from when Barb was there, when his team was there, and she's there to the last team. She's been a great partner and a great friend, as well as a wonderful wife. And I even bought her $56 worth of Valentines. I went romantic on that now. But let's go back to Josh and what he did. Josh, I want to thank Bob Hartman, Jerry Green, and Randy Wheel for the job that they did in building the program here. Those guys were great friends, and I enjoyed talking to them and getting to know them and what they did for the program. Randy Wheel, being a North Carolina grad, me being NC State, he and I were never the best of friends. And when he left, he tried to take some of the guys with him, which Tom Honeycutt was nice enough to intervene and do something. He even went to Charlotte with me to meet with Dirk Lomersay's dad to try to convince him that this was still the best place for him to come. But Randy did recruit Josh and Rob Stevenson and Mike Matthews and Dirk Lomersay and Kevin Martin, the crux of that team. And it was a great team. It was fun to coach. It was fun to work with those guys. And like I said, they really made a big difference in this program here. Josh's teams were 11-16, 18-10, 18-10, and 19-9. And during that time, we played these guarantee games. As you all know, we played North Carolina twice, NC State, Vanderbilt twice, NC State twice, Kansas, Kansas State, Kentucky, New Mexico, South Carolina, who we beat. Josh had 31 down there. And New Mexico, and then we beat New Mexico over there. Their coach was fired after that season. I believe we put that nail in the coffin. So that was Florida State and Maryland, Syracuse, Tennessee, beat East Carolina twice, but won some of those games. But what a tremendous record for those guys coming to Division I, playing those people. You take those guarantee games out of there, and that 11-16, 18-10, 18-10, 19-9 looks awfully good. And you guys would be congratulated what you did. Josh was the ultimate team player. Although he averaged 20 points a game in those seasons and had 1,500 for his career, he could have scored 40 on many a night. He got a quiet 31 down at South Carolina. Vincent Krieger got 24, I think, in that game, 25 in that game. But Vince's shots, I think he was 6 for 7 or 7 for 8 from 3. And it was the best he'd ever shot and the best he ever shot after that. But it looked great and everything, but the whole time he was doing that, Josh was getting his 31, and we whipped their tails down there. And that was, but he was not a guy, I mean, he could have scored any time he wanted in the game. And really a tremendous team player and a tremendous teammate. He graduated in 4 years, did a great job, was never a problem off the court. No one deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more than Josh Pittman. And on top of that, he's a better person and a better teammate than he is a basketball player. It's my pleasure to have him here. His daughter Alexis was the same name as my first girlfriend when I was 7.
And now we'd like to hear from Josh.
Ooh, first of all, let me knock on some wood, because, you know, when they say you come into the Hall of Fame, that's pretty much the end. And I'm going to try to get about 4 more years out these knees. Hopefully it'll work. I just want to, first of all, thank God. It's an honor to be here in front of you and to receive this award and this recognition. We worked hard, but I wouldn't be here without my faith and without God. I wouldn't be here without such wonderful teammates that I had. Through 4 years, I had the greatest teammates you could possibly have. They were brothers, and to this day, we all stay in contact. They'll all be here tomorrow. They couldn't make it tonight because, you know, they had to work, but they're here in spirit, and that's all that matters to me. I had to bring my left hand, my right hand up here. You know, when I'm home, she doesn't leave my side. She's my inspiration. But I'd like to thank the university for giving us an opportunity to be here and to perform and just to try to get to another level. We played probably everybody that's in the NBA right now, and that experience is worth wonders. I'd like to thank Coach Biedenbach and Coach Ryan and Coach Tao for teaching me to be not only a better basketball player, but a better man. And off the court, they taught me so many different things that I took with me all over the world, and I still take with me this day. And I'm so proud to have played for them. And last but not least, I want to thank my mother. I apologize if I get a little, you know, but that lady is you cannot define a strong black woman. You can see her, and she's my everything. She's my light. When times were rough, she was there. She came to every single game, high school, wherever it was. If we were playing in East Carolina, she was there. If the game wasn't good, she was like, okay, we got one more. And without that force, there would be no me. There would be no beautiful little girl like that right there. And, you know, I'm just blessed to be here, and I thank you all for recognizing me on this day. Thank you.
Alexis, you let us know what sport you'd like to play, okay? Congratulations, Josh. Next, would our head volleyball coach, Julie Torbett, please join us for this presentation? And Laura Lee Smith, please come forward. Laura Lee Smith was a 3-time first-team Big South All-Conference selection. Her 5,904 career assists remains the most in UNC Asheville and Big South history. Laura Lee also holds the school and Big South record for the most assists in a season, with 1,852 set in the 1996 season. She was the 1997 Big South Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year and twice earned All-Region, All-Academic honors. On graduation from UNC Asheville in 1998, Laura Lee began a collegiate coaching career. For the past 3 seasons, she has been the head coach at Lewis University in Romeoville, Illinois. During her tenure, she has led Lewis to 3 straight conference championships, 3 consecutive appearances in the NCAA tournament, and an overall record of 95-17. She resides in Romeoville with her husband, Dan Friend, who is the head men's volleyball coach at Lewis. Will you help me welcome to the UNC Asheville Hall of Fame, Laura Lee Smith. To say a few words about her, a former teammate, Jenny Reynolds, is here. Please come forward, Jenny.
I'm extremely honored to introduce one of tonight's inductees into the Hall of Fame, Laura Lee. Laura Lee and I have been friends since the very first volleyball preseason that we endured together. Those 4 years spending playing volleyball at UNCA together are some of the best memories of my life. And she is the friend that I counted on during those 4 years, and she's also the friend that I count on today. And one of my first memories of Laura Lee is a 100-meter timed sprint, actually. There wasn't a volleyball in sight this first preseason. It was at least day 2. And as many freshmen experience those first couple of days of preseason, you know, I'm running as hard as I can, and there's this little blonde girl that's step by step with me, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not the favorite to win this one this time. And what's funny about that memory to me now is looking back on that, I had absolutely no idea what she would mean to the program here at UNC Asheville, or what she would mean to me as a friend or a teammate. And some of my favorite memories are just our sideline conversations on the court or at practice. She always knew how to kind of make me play just a little bit better. And those memories I will always cherish. And we've been the best of friends since our freshman year together. And it was an extremely grueling season. I think we lost more that season than I know she ever lost in her entire high school career. But it was through those ups and downs that we became very close. And I learned what kind of person that she really is and how committed that she was to being the best that she possibly could be. You know, I thought that I hated to lose until I met Laura Lee. The word lose does not fit in her vocabulary. And what's even a bigger part of who Laura Lee is her drive to truly be the best that she can be. She was never satisfied and always worked to improve. She spent more hours in the gym. I know she spent as many hours with coaching staff as the NCAA will allow. And those extra hours upon hours is really what made her become the best setter in our school history and the best setter in our conference history. She was the glue to our success in our sophomore, junior, and senior seasons. And it was her competitive drive and her work ethic and her career accomplishments that make her so deserving of this induction today. So I'm very honored to introduce my friend and my teammate and one of tonight's inductees, Laura Lee Smith.
And now for my Hall of Famer, Laura Lee.
Jenny's little running story, there's a third girl that was even with us, and when you line up on the end line, you look down and you can kind of tell who's gonna push you. You know, you look for body types, and this third girl would never have been the person I would have picked to win the race, and her name was Melly Durham. She's not here, but she was right there also. I want to say thank you very much to everybody. Congratulations to Coach Carroll, Mark Rosenbaum, and Josh Pittman also for making it into the Hall of Fame and all your accomplishments and everything that you've done. It's pretty amazing. I believe that the Lord gives everybody a certain level of talent, but in order for that talent to foster, you have to be put into the right environment, like a supporting type of environment. I was blessed growing up to have the best family. We showed each other how much we loved each other through encouragement and a healthy, unspoken level of competition. I don't think I've ever told my oldest sister, who's at the back, how badly I wanted to graduate with a better GPA than her. And I can't tell you how badly my other sister, I wanted to mean more to our high school volleyball team than she did. The sad part is I failed at both. I didn't graduate with a better GPA, and I wasn't more important to the high school volleyball team, but the goals that they set and the encouragement they gave me is what made me work very, very hard. I was also blessed to have two parents that appreciate and love both academics and athletics. They encouraged all of us, sometimes they even forced us to work extremely hard and have that I'm never gonna quit, I'm never gonna give up type of attitude. And I wanna say thank you basically to my entire family for being a really great group of mentors. When I entered college, I was basically an average volleyball player, but here at Asheville, the surroundings, the coaching staff, the athletic department, and my teammates, it was the best environment for me to get better in. It was very, very supportive, and people just believed in you. Coach Torbett was the very first one. Like one of the very first days in preseason, I touched the ball and I just heard her say something positive about it, and that confidence was what I needed in order to push myself and to, take those chances that make you a better player. She also stressed to us upon many occasions how much you should appreciate your time in college and playing volleyball and how important it was. And she really gave me the love for volleyball because she gave those speeches quite a bit. The position I played in volleyball is 100% dependent on my teammates. And my teammates gave me everything else. They were supportive, they were loving, they were tons of fun, and they were really, really good. For a setter, you need a player like Anne that's gonna hit the floor, this hardwood floor. She's gonna hit it at full speed. She may break a bone, but she's gonna get that ball up. And then if she doesn't get it up, I can't do my job. And then you need a player like Jenny Reynolds who jumps unbelievably high and will swing at the ball and put it down. Without those two types of positions or that team chemistry, a setter has absolutely zero stats. And I had that type of team chemistry. So I want to say thank you to UNC Asheville for providing the atmosphere that allowed for the type of success that both our team and I had. Finally, I have a husband that's pretty amazing. Oh no. He accepts me for all my faults. And he's the person that, I don't know, he tells me which way to go and he pushes me, and he's the reason I'm coaching. So any success I've had as a coach in the past, or hopefully in the future, it's because of him. Gosh. All right, so anyways, thank you very, very much. This is a huge honor, and I really appreciate it.
For our next presentation, I would like to ask our head baseball coach, Tom Smith, to join us at the podium. And will Mark Rosenbaum please come forward? Mark Rosenbaum is UNC Asheville's all-time career leader in complete games with 13, shutouts with 4, and earned run average at 3.21. He also holds the single-season record for victories with 11, shutouts with 3, complete games with 11, and innings pitched with 117.2. In 1990, he led the Big South Conference and was nationally ranked in earned run average with 1.50 mark. Mark was the first team Big South All-Conference performer in 1991 and also made the All-Tournament team that year. He led the Bulldogs to the 1991 Big South Conference Championship game for the first time in school history. Mark graduated in 1991 and played 2 years of professional baseball in the Seattle Mariners organization before coming back to Asheville. He has been in the local hotel business for the past 15 years. Mark is here tonight with his wife Melissa and his family. Will you help me welcome to the UNC Asheville Athletics Hall of Fame, Mark Rosenbaum. To tell us a little bit more about him, I'd like to call forward Mike Schilt to say a few words. Welcome.
All right, thank you for having me here tonight and to welcome such a deserving member in the Hall of Fame. So I'm a baseball guy, so we always tell stories, so I've got a few stories, and hopefully I'll keep it clean and they'll be entertaining. You know, the first thing about Mark that you always wanted in a pitcher, and I've done this now for a couple of years and do it for a living, you want your pitchers to give you a chance to win a baseball game. Just give us a chance to win. And I've known Mark for over 25 years now. We played together since we were 15 years old and had a really special relationship. But the thing about him when you played with him in American Legion Baseball and when I played with him here at UNC Asheville, instead of giving you a chance to win, you pretty much knew you were going to win. So that's a huge compliment. And here's the other thing about him. You could count on him on the field because our first year, the second year of the program was 1986, and we were short on pitching. And we're playing the University of Furman in a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games. And Mark pitches the first game. There was a complete game and wins, of course. And we get done with the game, and we're thin on pitching. We really don't have the pitching for the second game. So he comes off the field, and we're going through the line, congratulate everybody. And Coach Bagwell at the time was Ken Bagwell. Pulls him to the side and says, "Hey, how you feeling? You didn't throw a lot of pitches that first game." And Mark says, "I feel great." He said, "Well, why don't you start the second game?" And Rose said, "Well, I don't need much time. Let's get it going." So there's a complete game the first game, complete game the second game. 2 complete games in one day, wins them both. Of course, he did it later, 2 years later against Radford. So it just an amazing accomplishment in and of itself. The one flaw he had, though, he couldn't hold runners. He had this long delivery and he was slow to the plate and he didn't really pick off a whole lot. And our coaches every year would be like, you got to hold runners. They're stealing bases, stealing second, stealing third. Keep on him. And he comes off, and like I said, we were really close, and he comes to me, we were talking. I said, "Man, you really, start holding some runners." He goes, "When they start stealing home, I'll start worrying about it." But the thing one of the things that stuck out with Mark was his unbelievable calmness and his ability to perform under pressure. I remember we were playing, and I was like the backup catcher and infield guy, and I was just always hanging out with him. And we had like a comfortable lead. We were playing, I think, down in Augusta, and we had like a 5-run lead. And he started a lot of the games, which is even more impressive about his record. He's got a school record for 11 career shutouts. He pitched 3 years because he went on to pitch professionally, but he ended up pitching a year and a half out of the bullpen. So he had all these amazing records for innings and complete games and wins, and yet half his career was out of the bullpen because he's so valuable in a pressure situation. So we're playing Augusta, and it's not a situation that you think, we get a 5-run lead, it's a 9th inning, we're going to win the game, we're okay. All of a sudden, everything starts going crazy. We're making errors, guys are getting blue pits, we're walking guys, and next thing you know, we got a bases loaded situation. And Coach Pope, Steve Pope at the time, is turned and throws, hey, you loose, hurry up. He hadn't thrown a ball. He doesn't have his cleats on, and I'm like, go, let's go. And I'm sprinting, I'm getting down there to catch him up, and I'm ready to go, and I look back, and here he comes. I'm like, Rosie, come on, man, let's go. He goes, and he's just moseying along, put your shoes on, throws a couple balls. It's like, come on, let's go. I'm throwing it back to him. He's checking the dirt. I'm like, hey, he's got to put you in. He's done like 3 pitches. He goes, I think I'll throw a curveball, break one off. Boom, that's a good one. Throws like 5 pitches and stops. I'm like, dude, you're not loose. He goes, I'm fine. So he walks in, and it's like a gunslinger coming out of the bullpen. And Coach Pope goes to the bullpen, and so we've got the bases loaded, and now what's basically the winning run at second base in the 9th inning. All right. He's throwing 5 pitches. Comes in, first pitch, pop up the infield. So we got 1 out, base load. Okay. Strike 1, 0-1 count, slider, double play ball. Boom, boom. We win. Walks off the mound. And so Coach Biedenbach, I'm giving you a run for your money here. Okay. So then what I think, and Mike Gore could probably better validate this, but I think one of the most impressive things in school history athletically is what he accomplished against NC State in 1991. It had been an absolute deluge the night before. I mean, just rain, and I wasn't even actually on the team that year. And he comes over to my house, and we're hanging out, and had a few people over, and we're relaxing, and it's just pouring. And there's no way we're going to play, and we didn't have a tarp. You got a tarp yet, Coach Smith? Okay, good. All right. Is there, all right, good. Is there anything you need while I'm up here? Okay. All right, just want to make sure we take care of you guys. So it's a deluge. The field doesn't hold water, and it's about and they're playing state, and Rosie grew up a big state fan, and North Carolina State at the time was ranked 9th in the country and had just an outstanding team. And so we walk out and park a lot, and it's starting to clear up a little bit. He goes, and he's not if you know him, which I hope you get a chance to, but he's not a boisterous guy, but he's got a quiet confidence about him, and he says, "Really hope we play tomorrow. Really hope we play tomorrow." I'm like, okay, Rosie. And that team was not, it was a competitive team. They ended up basically almost single-handedly pitching to the tournament championship. But it was a rebuilding year because the 1990 club we lost a lot of guys. And so here comes the 9th ranked team in the country against a team that was a couple games under 500 at least. And he shows up and pitches a 2-hitter shutout against the 9th ranked team in the country for a 4-0 win. And this leads me into my couple of next points, and I'll obviously turn it over to him because you didn't come to hear me. Academically, we both got off onto a rocky start. We showed up from Charlotte, and people say we didn't have your priorities straight, and we both completely disagree. We had our priorities completely straight. We just changed them in a couple of years. But it tells you a lot about Mark, because Mark's a person that rises to a challenge. And the point I'm making with the academics is this: he's a really brilliant guy, and we were taking a lot of general ed courses, and I know this is a great, fine institution, one that I probably couldn't get into today. but he wasn't being challenged academically. I mean, it was, you know, but when he got into his major, when he got into his business classes, and he started getting challenged, and he started realizing what he had to do he was a 4.0 student. And so, you know, I just always had a lot of respect for the way he carried himself academically once we kind of figured it out. And then finally, you know, I alluded to, he was a tremendous competitor. You know, he was a great teammate, which is one of the best things I could ever say about anybody. Always encouraging. You made a nice play, he was behind you. He was giving you this. You were down. He was patting you on the back. He, as great an athlete as Mark was, as much as he accomplished, he's by far a better human being. You know, he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame tonight. But this guy's been a Hall of Famer to me for a long time. So, thank you.
You just let us know whether you'd like Coach Smith or our AD or our Chancellor to come see you. Let's hear a few words from Mark.
I had a nice speech prepared, and a couple things happened tonight that weren't supposed to, and Mike Schilt would be one, and forgive me if I get a little emotional. I'm not an emotional guy. But he wasn't supposed to be here tonight, and neither was my good friend Brian Hennessy, and they have come a long ways to be here for me, and I'm just at a loss right now, so please bear with me. I can't tell you. Well, first off, let me say something about him. He didn't say it, and I know he thought it. He was kind of my partner in crime, and we used to joke, you know, and I used to say if my ERA was as low as my GPA my freshman year, I'd probably still be playing ball somewhere. But we won't talk about that anymore. I can't tell you what a great honor it is to be inducted into the UNC Asheville Hall of Fame. I owe a lot to this university. Not only did it provide me with a great education, it took a chance on me as an athlete as well. I mean, coming out of high school, I didn't even know if I was going to get to play college ball, much less be recognized here tonight. I can't say I was exactly what college coaches were looking for. I mean, I was skinny, I was a side armor. I didn't exactly light up the radar gun. I just wasn't that kind of guy. And so I remember when I was playing high school in Legion Ball in Charlotte, we would always know when the college scouts and coaches were there. And I can remember one night in particular when there must have been 20 or more of those guys in the stands, and they all got their radar guns, and of course they're there to look at the guy I'm pitching against. And I just remember sitting there in the dugout and thinking, you know, I'm as good as that guy, and this, you know, this might be my big chance. And this guy, he's big, hard throwing lefty. I mean, just everything the scouts drooled over. He goes out there and the scouts are hanging on every pitch and they got their radar guns out and that kind of stuff, and he retires aside and goes to the dugout and I go running out and I'm like, all right, here we go, and I'm pumped up and I'm taking my warm-up pitches and I walk off the mound, take the balls, they throw it around, turn around, look up in the stands, and nobody's there. Not one scout. They would leave and they would go to the concession stand and to the bathroom and socialize outside the stands during every inning I would pitch. And I threw one of the best games of my life that night. Beat the guy they came to see, and nobody saw it. And the guy pitching against, he went on, he went on to a great career, big, you know. But eventually UNCA showed some interest in me, and looking back, I think it couldn't have worked out better. I would like to thank my parents for their support and putting up with me during my college years, and as alluding to what Mike said, they put up with a lot. I'd also like to thank my wife, Melissa, for kind of taking that burden off my parents' shoulders and placing it squarely on hers, and for not divorcing me when she hears some of those stories. And I would also like to thank my teammates. And those are the guys that, scored the runs and made the plays that made me look pretty good. I know when I got that ground ball at Augusta, I can walk off the field that way because I know they're turning the double play behind me. So that they instilled a confidence in me that I had to be able to perform and do my job. I'm incredibly proud to be associated with this university and also this great program. Thank you.
How utterly inspiring. Thank you. For our next presentation, I would like to ask our head women's basketball coach, Betsy Blows, to come to the podium. And will Helen Carroll please come forward? Helen Carroll was UNC Asheville's head women's basketball coach for 3 years and led the program to heights it had never seen. The Bulldogs had a 64-32 record during Helen's career, which culminated in the 1984 season when UNC Asheville won the NAIA National Championship. She directed the Bulldogs to a 32-5 overall record in the 1983-1984 season, the best record of any UNC Asheville athletic team has ever compiled. Her winning percentage of 66.7% is the best among all Bulldog coaches. She retired from coaching after that national championship and continued to work in the athletic administration area at UNC Asheville for the next 3 years. Then Helen became the athletic director at Mills College in Oakland, California, before becoming the sports project director at the National Center for Lesbian Rights in San Francisco in 2001. Helen and her 2 daughters reside in the Bay Area. At this time, please help me welcome to the UNC Asheville Athletics Hall of Fame, Helen Carroll. To say a few words about her, I'd like to call forward Shirley Snyder's daughter, Dawn Snyder Funderburk.
Oh, I think I'm going to beat everybody up here. I'm a speaker at heart, so I know how to use the clock. Also, before I speak, we had to get this all over with for the whole night, and my table had to say that number 12 won it and took the whole thing. So now that that's over with, let's get to the real work. And it was so neat. I have every athlete has a scrapbook, and of course, why wouldn't you have a scrapbook for the sport that you played? And last night I got to go down memory lane, and I spent about 2.5 hours going through each page and reading all the things that we accomplished while we were here under Coach Carroll, and it was such a great time. And I even got a little nervous when I was reading some of the play-by-plays from the newspaper articles, but it got me all excited about winning yet again, and I just loved going down that lane. So But when Coach Carroll walked onto the campus of the University at North Carolina at Asheville in the fall of 1983, little did she realize that she would be coaching her team to a national championship and making the dream that every athlete has of winning the big one, come true. With only 5 years of college experience previously at UT Martin and Wayne State College in Nebraska, Coach Carroll headed to UNCA in 1981 to build up a below-par women's basketball program. I believe Coach Carroll, in 2 short years, was able to use the gifts God had given her to recruit and unify a team that would defy all odds and do the magical thing and win a national championship. Few coaches, especially female coaches, are among that elite group that can claim that revered accomplishment. In fact, Coach Carroll has made the record books when she won the championship and became the first woman in the 4-year history of the NAIA event to coach a women's team to victory. It is awesome to think that our coach went into the history books. It's even more awesome to think of our team was brought together for such a time as this. Great college coaches, like great college players, don't just happen. Aside from God-given talent, it takes hard work, extreme discipline, years of practice, much sacrifice, and bottom line, love for the game. Coach Carroll, I believe, possessed all of these. You see, she was not only a coach, but she also played the game as well, even though we didn't really believe her. But not necessarily do good players make good coaches, so we were glad that Coach was a bad player and a really good coach. You know how every coach comes into the locker room before the game and they give you the keys to success on how you're going to win this game? Well, I'm going to do that a little bit right now. Coach Carroll used to come into the locker room, and she would shut the door behind us, and she'd say, "Where's Sheila? Now, where's Sheila?" And if none of y'all know anything about our basketball team, Sheila was like the heart and soul of our team. She was a 6'3", 230-pound center, and she was an All-American. She went on to play pro basketball overseas. But anyway, Coach Carroll would come into the locker room and she would say, "All right, now ladies, all we need to do is out-rebound them, keep our opponents to under 60 points, shoot 45% from the field, stay out of foul trouble. For goodness sake, stay out of foul trouble, Kim, and capitalize on their turnovers. Now that's all you have to do to win the game. Now let's just go out there and do that." So those were her keys to the game, and these are a few keys to life that I think that we learned from Coach Carroll and how to be successful from her. First and foremost, Coach Carroll saw each player's full potential, and these sort of have to go with P's, so bear with me. I have 3 P's. Coach Carroll saw each player's full potential in order to be able to carry out and then carry on that over to our team's full potential. She was able to bring out the best of each player, starting with preseason conditioning until we peaked just in time for the tournament. She taught each player's role based on their skill set and had something that she taught that each player had a role on our team and with each of their skill sets and had something valuable to contribute. Whether it was the coach, whether it was the assistant coach, Myra Sims, or whether it was our manager, Denise Bowman, whether it was our trainer, Laura Glass, whether it was the bench warmers like myself, she told us that everybody had a part to our team. She used her 2 gentle giants to wreak havoc in the paint and watched as one of those became the first player to grab 2,000 rebounds and score 2,000 points. The other post player complimented Sheila with her consistent performance on the court and in the classroom. Coach Carroll also saw full potential in her 2 junior players, Kim Duncan and Trish Wyatt. Kim Duncan, an All-American with natural athletic ability. She could jump and score at will. She's probably my most adored player. I've always wanted to be able to play like Kim Duncan. Trish, who could run the point and see the floor like no other, could shoot the lights out of it behind the three-point line when there was no three-point line. We used to say that she would have scored in over 2,000 points had we had that three-point line. Julie finished up the backcourt for us. Her strengths were her speed and her quickness, and her ability to pass the ball and nearly put the ball through the wall. She had the ability to run the fast break, and she came close to breaking the tournament record and handing out assists. The record for the tournament was 10, and Julie had 9 assists. That was for the potential. Coach Carroll gave us the key in our life to know how we could reach our potential in whatever it was that we took on. The second was a positive attitude. Coach Carroll was always playing around like a little kid. She had that happy-go-lucky spirit. She even walks happy. Now that's pretty gross. She walks on her toes. I don't know. She just always... She was such like a little kid. She passed this positive attitude on to us with the way that she would communicate with us. She motivated us and she talked to us. You know, words are very important. Our words can bring life to others, and our words can kill a spirit. In Proverbs 25:11, it says, "A word aptly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver." She did accomplish much with her motivational words. Her pre-game talks really pumped us up. I rarely heard her speak negatively or in a tone that was condescending. She always used a coaching voice, not an angry voice, and only athletes know the fine line between the two. It was early January. Our record was 7-4, and we had our butts just been kicked by Dillard University while on the road in Louisiana. But she kept encouraging us. "It's not how you start," she said, "it's how you finish." Little did we know that we would go on to win to 21-1 and win the title. The only loss that was to Knoxville College, where she remained positive and told us that it was a good loss, if there is such a thing. She was not only our coach, but our #1 fan. The last P is perseverance. Coach Carroll demonstrated perseverance to her team. Coach Carroll loved her team, and she still loves us, and we love her. She would pore over drills, plays, game tapes, schedules. She said for her, coaching was a 24-hour-a-day job. Anyways, Coach Carroll started having health issues, and added stress upon a weak system only makes one weaker, and coaching was taking a toll on her. She decided she would leave coaching, and this really hurt because this was her last year. We decided that we were going to win it for her. Looking back on all of this, I have to say that Coach Carroll never let us know how sick she really was. If ever, she never talked about it. All we ever saw was her extremely tired body, very weak. I remember several times we would pick her up and carry her to the van before a game or afterwards, sleeping in the back seat all the way to the games. But then when it came game time, there she was, ready to go like the Energizer Bunny. I guess our real last test of perseverance came when we were in Cedar Rapids at the Nationals. We had to win 4 games in 4 days. Going in as the #9 seed, we were facing the #8 seed, and that was Central Arkansas. And if y'all have been here at any time to any of these banquets, you've heard about this. We were down by 8 points with 6 minutes to go in the first round. And Coach Carroll called a timeout, and she looked at every one of us and she said, "If you don't get out there and play your hardest and get us a victory, you're going to have your plane ticket sitting on the seat when you come back in." So we went out, we scored 14 to go up by 6, and with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, we went on to win that game. Then we had to go against the #1 team in the second round, the 2-time defending national champs, Southwestern Oklahoma. Well, obviously we beat them. We were the real Bulldogs. We faced then up with a rematch with #4, Dillard University. That was the team that had beat us earlier in the season. So it was a revenge matchup. We won that game convincingly by 14. Then we knew at that point that we were going to win it all. If we could beat Dillard University by 14, then we knew we could take it all. We had to play the #3 seed in the championship game. We would have to persevere and play in a 5-minute overtime to win by 2. Coach Carroll taught us and learned with us what it was like to endure and to persevere through adversity. Whatever that looked like, whether it was poor health, bad losses, untimely injuries, or horrible refs. All of these are keys to a success, I believe, that Coach Carroll taught us. To see the potential in others, to speak the positive to others, and then to show others how to persevere by being a good example. I was able to come to visit Coach Carroll this past summer while I was in California for an event. She told me coaching our team prepared her for what was yet to come for her, the strength to raise two beautiful twin daughters who are 11 years old now, Micah and Savannah. She also, and you may not know this, but she coached the wheelchair basketball team, and she also won a national championship in that. Coach Carroll's love for the game is still there, and she's very much involved with women's athletics, standing up for the underdogs and fighting for equality in women's sports. I was able to walk on. I was a walk-on this team for Coach Carroll at a great university. I walked on the campus in 1982 and walked off with a college ring, a college degree, and a national championship ring. For that, I am truly grateful. It is my honor and privilege to introduce you to my coach, Helen Joyce Carroll.
Here she is. It is so great to be back in Asheville after being in California for 20 years. I love being here, and Dawn, thank you so much. Like she said, she was a walk-on, and Dawn played a sub role on the team, but she played a lot. And when we needed to get her in to get a rebound or get a couple of points, she would go in there and do the role that she had to do. And it's one of the reasons we won. And I had Dawn introduce me because I always felt like Dawn had this heart that just pushed everybody on her team, and myself also. And I think it's important for everyone to know, even if you're not the athlete who has set all the records and goes down in the record books, that you are just as valuable to your team as the person who makes all the records. Maybe even more so, because you're their support. They can't do it without you. And I always felt that our team was really able to make that happen for ourselves out there. So I'm deeply honored to be here today and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I want to say thank you to the Chancellor and to Janet Cohn. It's just such an honor being here. I want to say thank you to Mike Gore. He was here many decades ago when we won that national championship and has been here the whole time. And he's done a great job bringing us back at different times, and it's been fabulous. I think even like you said, it's so great just to see your teammates or the people coming in that you've been so close to for so many years. It's really fabulous. And to Betsy Blows, I think she is just the best coach that Asheville can have. And I just love that she's the one that has the winningest record now, has the most wins. And I expect to see more big things come from the women's basketball team in that new gym when it gets set up. It's just going to be fabulous. And Betsy, you're going to be the one to guide them there, and it's going to be really, really fun to see. I also want to say that, I feel emotional too. You get up here and you kind of look at how your life goes along, and you have this path, but along this path, you've got these corners. And you don't really know when you're going to hit the corner or what direction it's going to go. And I felt like for me, when I was at Asheville, here I am coaching, and I've had the opportunity to really, first day, walk on campus and meet Sheila Ford and meet Beth Krivda, the Twin Towers and the paint, and sort of decide right then this might be a good place to coach. And then to come in and get Trish and Kim and Julie back there and Dawn, and have Denise work with me, and that whole 12 table, that is the national championship group back there, and it's. So I walk on campus, I'm with them, and all of a sudden I'm along this path, and I don't know where it's going to be, but I do know that I'm in the middle of exceptional people, and that I have exceptional support
from the athletic director, from the school, from the faculty, just like we're seeing here right now. That's what we had as a team, you know, and so I kept along that path, and we won that national championship, and it kind of seemed like, okay, well, the first season, you know, we lost terribly. The second season, we did pretty good. The third season, we win a national championship, and so it's almost like overnight. There are all these things that we've done that are supposed to be really brilliant that weren't the day before. So it happened suddenly, and it catapulted me into just, you know, a completely new career path than I could have ever imagined. Athletic administration for a few years at UNCA, and then head athletic director. And then now I work with national organizations, the NCAA, the Olympic committees, coaches conferences, on all kinds of diversity to make sure each athlete individually feels very, very important and welcome on their team. You know, and I expect to die doing that. I do, because that is the crux of a great team. And all of the UNCA athletes today, what were they saying? They were standing up and saying, teammates, teammates, I'm proud to be a Bulldog. They're looking across the room at each other. You know, and that's exactly what it is. And when you put that in a mix with great coaches and support from the top and support from the administration and a new gym, that's exactly what you get. And so I want to say that, you know, I'm just so pleased and proud to be here. And Dawn, thank you. And then I also have to say that my support always, just like all of us, has been that family, you know, that knows you like nobody else knows you. And my sister Jane is here, and I feel really, really touched that she could be here, you know, with me tonight. And she's a very special person, and her husband and Katie. And so I'm very blessed to have many friends that I look out and see you all and recognize you. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to keep coming back to Asheville. Thank you.
Would each of the inductees who are new to our Hall of Fame tonight please stand so that we can applaud all four of you now. Now we'll call Brendan back up to help wrap up the evening.
Another great round of speeches. It's always a real highlight of the year and a great way to get homecoming off to a great start. And again, congratulations to all our Hall of Fame inductees. One more round of applause for all of them. At this point, we're going to welcome Janet Cohn back to the podium.
Each year, I'm always amazed and thankful that I'm in athletics, because there is such a special bond for those folks that play, who coach, but also for those of us who watch, because you are part of that team. And I think tonight we heard that it's the relationships that are so very, very important. I want to thank each of the inductees, because you did something I think is very important. You recognized your family. And I think that is so special, because we can never forget where we're coming from. And then when you come to a university, you get a new family. And that family just gets bigger and bigger, and that's what the Bulldogs are all about. So I want to thank you for recognizing that. I also want to take a couple minutes. You know, very few of us are ever going to win a national championship. You know, we're going to win Big South championships, and we're going to win, hopefully, an individual championship at the indoor championships this weekend would be nice. But how many people can say they won a national championship? So I want those folks who were part of that national championship team to stand up, because we need to always acknowledge that you are here in our presence. Please stand up. I also, at this time, I want to congratulate someone. You know, this university has had the opportunity to have 2 female athletic directors, and if you know anything about the NCAA, there are very few female athletic directors in the whole country. One of your very own, one of your graduates has just been recently named athletic director. Myra Sims, would you stand up, please? Yeah. That is a huge honor in the NCAA because, once again, there's very few women, and that's what Helen's talking about, opportunity. So I think, you know, one of our own. You know, UNC Asheville, we always say we're the best kept secret around, but there's one secret I think that's even harder for people to understand. Our graduates are outstanding. I mean, whether you're an athletic director, you're involved with professional baseball, you're a coach now, we're lawyers. We have one of only 2 female orthopedic doctors in Western North Carolina, is one of your very own sitting back there who just moved back to this area. I mean, we've got to tell that story. Our graduates are as good as any graduates from Harvard, Chapel Hill, I'll say my school, Furman, anybody, Davidson. And we don't tell that story enough. We see it at events like this, and we all applaud it, and we leave, and we feel really good. But you've got to start helping us spread the word. Our graduates are leaders in this country and in the world, because Louise Bottomley's going to go back to England, and somebody over there is going to say, well, where did you come from? And she's going to say, I'm a graduate of UNC Asheville. We're around the world, people. We are around the world, and that's outstanding. We have mentioned a couple times that we are 44% of the way finished our new North Carolina Center for Health and Wellness, Kimmel Arena. And within that arena, we've already have an opportunity, as you well know. Roy Williams has donated a gift to name the basketball office suites after Coach Jerry Green. And that's wonderful. Some of Coach Bob Hartman's players and friends have gone together to have a naming opportunity to name the head men's basketball coach's office after Coach Bob Hartman. So I think that's wonderful. But I got to tell you, I was in Atlanta at the NCAA, and I went over there for some meetings, but I actually went for another reason, because our NAIA national championship team has got to always be remembered, and it doesn't matter if they played in the Justice Center or the Kimmel Arena. So Myra and Coach Carroll have agreed that they're going to head up a campaign for us to name the head women's basketball coach's office after the NAIA national championship team and coaches and players. And I think that our new athletic director, who probably got a huge raise, I think she's already written a check. Is that not true? There it is. She's got a check to lead that off tonight.
It's the only way I'll get my name on anything here. We are committed to that.
You know, that giving back is so very important. And, you know, for a team like this, the coaches and the managers and folks that supported that team, we don't want to ever forget that. I mean, that is a unique feat that needs to be recognized forever. And I really appreciate that. I also heard there's another table back there that said they want to contribute to this, so go ahead, bring it up.
So I hate to do this, but table 16 has been the best table, and I think they have challenged the other tables to raise $500. Was it? They've raised $500 already, and that's just part of the challenge to you guys.
Well, I want to thank that table for reaching out in that challenge. That's wonderful, because as you've seen tonight, there's some great folks here, and we want to keep this coming, because your children need to come to school here at UNC Asheville, and their children. That's how you get that history and that tradition, and it's very, very important. I want to thank again our student athletes. As your athletic director, you made me proud tonight. You really made me proud, the things that you said about our university, about your teammates and your coaches. That's outstanding, and that's why we come to work every day, and that's why tomorrow when we wake up and it's homecoming and we're going to be out there watching the parade and y'all are going to be freezing, we're going to be cheering, and Saturday for our men's and women's doubleheader, and you know, those are wonderful things that are happening on our campus, and we've got to keep this going. It's powerful. It really is. There's one other group in here that I've got to make a point about. You know, there's a lot of people in this room who aren't UNC Asheville graduates. They're Wake Forest graduates. Our chancellor's a Chapel Hill graduate. That's okay. They're not having a great season. They pulled out silver uniforms. You know, it didn't work. But, you know, I've got Gardner-Webb graduates in here. I've got Furman graduates. I've got graduates from all over the country in here. But I can tell you right now, they're going to say when they leave here tonight, I'm Wilma Sherrill, I'm Ann Ponder, I'm Al Whitesides, I'm Janet Cohn, I'm Jack Brown, and I am proud to be a Bulldog, because they bleed blue. You know, our university cannot make it without our alums and without our friends. And that is something that we have got to really make sure that we always recognize. And as Helen said, you don't have to be the star. You don't have, you know, you have a role to play, and that's what makes championship teams. My name is Janet Cohn, and my real title is I'm a Bulldog. Thank you.